Okay. Well, I'm gonna use this as like a VOD. I'm gonna really kind of just go in here and start talking about this whole situation. Essentially, I kind of just got like wind of this just scrolling through Twitter. An hour ago, there was a bunch of people just started talking on Twitter about Sully from FX being found in her apartment deceased, and you know you can only assume why that is, and that's it. Really hits me hard because that was literally my favorite group. Um, in high school, in college, I listened to them literally every day, and this is kind of hard for me to um uh understand and hear about and take everything. This is a lot. Um, this is a lot. Honestly, it might not be it might not be that big for some of you other people who don't know who she is. Let me. I don't know, man. She's a part of a group called FX South Korea, and essentially she is um an actress now, and she got in. I guess she got in some type of like trouble with, I guess her body was shown. It slipped. Her body was slipped out, and it showed whatever. And so it that I don't know. It basically, no one knows what could have caused something like this, but it could actually be connected to that scandal, and it's 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 crazy. Honestly, it's crazy to me that something like this could actually happen. That she could be pushed to such a terrible play. She got pushed, or she she was in such a terrible state that this is what she did. She or something I don't know. She was found dead, so we don't know what happened. But obviously, you can only assume that she did take her own life. So, um, it's like it is one of those things that I pay. I mean, I'm paying attention. I pay attention to it a lot. Um, Celebrities in the music scene kind of going out in this way, and it's really alarming because this is something. She was only 25, literally my age, and it's not even something that's only happened in the past few years in the same company, SM Entertainment. Another one of my favorite groups, Shiny, Jung um he also took his own life, and it seems that it's becoming a trend within inside uh SM Entertainment. Something's happening inside the inner workings of K-pop, that or just music in Korea. You don't even know anything about their lives, but all of a sudden, they take their own life, and you're just left wondering what literally happened to her. It's it's crazy to me, honestly, and it's almost like alarming because I'm going in the same direction. I'm even wanting to perform to the same audience of people. I've even learned. I've learned Korean. I've got it down. I've got it. Like it's like before you get all the full brunt of what that culture is, you just don't even. I don't know. It's just it's like I want to know what I just want to know what could have happened in her mind that could push her to this type of length. And I think we do need to start talking more about preventing some type of, we need to start talking about preventing uh, this from happening from everybody. What what could be going? I mean, I even put up a front. I even have the same thoughts. Just gonna put it out there all the time, even today, especially today. You just rationalize it, and you just, I guess, but like, there's always another way. But she felt like she had no other way, so that's what she did. She, she felt like she had no other way, and then okay. So what we're talking about is Sully. Um, she's a member of a girl group um called FX, Korean girl group. I'm like, I'm blown from this news because I grew up listening to this group, following all the members, you know, closely, loosely, and then, she took her life. She took her life, and it's like you're just left wondering because she's such a, let me show some pictures of her because she's such a bright and happy person. Like, you know, up front though, up front, that's what I'll say. She's a bright and happy person up front, but um, just looking at like how even she smiles, you can just see that is like a lot of happiness there. Just how, but then this is a recent picture of her. You know, she changed. Well, she's an actress, and I don't know. It's like just going through the Instagram pictures just to gain some type of information on like what could have happened. Just what really could have happened. And that's all anyone will want to know. What, because the other male member of um Shiny Jung Yun, he when he killed himself, he left a note, and I think the CNN article left something. I don't know. It's just, this is the last thing. This is the last post from Instagram 2 days ago. 2 days ago, this is what happened. She got just a huge full brunt of just purses. It seems, just a bunch of products. Let's see. So N Onion Haseo something something Gyo, is it Gyo Go Gyo Go Big Dan, yeah, Dal Bal Ban Bad Bad Badoju Baraju just so guess so, yeah. So she got a bunch of bags. So it's just scrolling through the pictures. You got this picture 4 days ago. You're like thinking about the logic behind somebody's, posts now. That's what you're thinking. That's where everybody's at now. What is happening? What could have? Because these pictures don't really look so bright and happy, but this is a past picture, and all of these pictures kind of do seem a little bit more serious. Actually, you can see that there's a difference. Like all of these pictures look kind of serious, actually, and then these are. It's like it's interesting. I guess you can actually see that that there might be something going on here. Actually, you can actually see this. But then, why would anyone actually question just normal pictures? Because she's an actress. She has her own life. Who's Sully? Sully is a member of FX, and she's recently at 25 took her own life. This is it all seems normal. No one knows what she could have been going through. No one does, but I want to know. I want to know what, because I liked her. You know, it's like you don't even know. You don't even know anything about, like, I grew up listening to all the music and watching her in like TV shows here and there because she started acting. It's like, and then Amber was just about, like, the reason I heard about this really was because of I was looking at Amber's story, her Instagram story, and she posted something like she was just about to get ready to open up a new music video, and then she said, like, "Oh no, there's some, you can't do anything. Putting a hold on upcoming activities." There it is. Sorry, everyone. Thank you for your thoughts. And then it's like, oh, what happened? And then you find out, and you're like, wow, what happened? Because I think it's very important to really, I don't know, check up on somebody, or like talk to people. Actually, I think there's a difference between, being friends with somebody and in name you're a friend, but in actuality you might not be, because when something dark is happening, you don't really talk about it. And I don't think, even in this culture in South Korea, they don't. I don't think they ever talk to each other. I don't think it's. And then something that's happening is like, what is this CNN article said? Like, what was it, BBC article? It said like something about, along the lines of, she was found alone. Obviously she's alone in her apartment, but it's like, when someone is always alone and they never talk to people and they're always like kind of secluded, you can become a little bit more susceptible, whatever, to these types of thoughts. Like, really, it's really, it's saddening, man. This stuff is so saddening. and they showed this picture of her smiling. At least, BBC being nice. Then, the thing about it is the other Jung Hyun, same again, same company, the same company. How intense must it be, or has it, like, how intense is it for them, really? Because we have no idea. We have no idea. No, we will never know how bad is it for them as these huge stars with millions of followers on social media and millions of views, listens on YouTube, and to be such a huge music star, it has to be ridiculously, tough to take so many opinions all at once for every single minor thing you do. So much to the point that I think it's crumbling human beings' minds. I don't think it's actually right for there to be so many people concentrated on one person and chastising them as if it is right, and as if they are right to do so as a group, because anything can happen to anyone can do anything they want, but it's only because one person is famous that a lot of people would actually give their opinion. Even like, we can walk down the street, see two people kissing, and then say nothing, but the second it's a famous person kissing someone, then you have to talk about it for some reason, as if people have some type of right to someone else's personal life. So I think that's probably like a good example of what these type of people go through. People who are ridiculously famous like this go through this type of thing every day, and I think that's really sad. And then, yes, who's to say it's the fame that caused it? We don't know. We'll never know. It's just sad. It's just so sad. I just wanted to, like, talk about this and give my opinion about the whole. And my opinion, really, it comes down to, I don't know if I have, like, I don't know what my opinion is. I don't know. It's something about how nasty any type of culture involving fame can be. This happens a lot in general on all platforms all over the world. People get ridiculously famous, but they have to deal with so many people giving them just all of their mind. And a part of what makes a human being is the ability to communicate. And as you look at a comment, or as you take in an opinion, as you hear somebody talk to you, you could ignore it, but you do take it in and you do process it. And because communication is both ways, no matter what happens, no matter what anyone says, you will always be affected by what someone else says. It doesn't matter how you feel about it. It's just, that's how it is. That's how human beings work. That's you. If you can understand someone else talking, you can actually feel something from what they say. And it's terrible that it can come just in this way. Um, I should write up. I don't know, man. I think this is a very sad day. I think this is just a shocking. This one is shocking. This is very shocking. I can't I honestly cannot believe this is I cannot out of all the people like out of all the people to take their life, Sully is literally the last person I would think, and it's always that way, isn't it? It's always this way. It can always be this way. You know, it's like so many musicians are just taking their life, and it's like, is there anything we can do to just prevent this? You know, like make someone happy in your day, go and shake someone's hand and decide to live peacefully throughout your life, you know, instead of preaching negativity and destruction, I guess that's a good first step. But then also, whatever's pushed her over had to have been just ridiculous. It's just, and it seems also that like it's something about the scandal that she went through with her body being exposed, and then it's like 2016, and then last month, so it has to be connected to that. There's no, it has to be connected to last month's controversy where a part of her body was shown, you know, private part of her body, and it's like, I don't know, man. I think that has to be a catalyst to all of this. It has to be. There's that had to be something that pushed her over the edge here. Well, it has to be something. Well, I think the writings in the water. It's right there. I think a lot of things are clear, and I think we do also we choose to ignore a lot of things. I think we do. I think there is what's being written here. What BBC is talking about are her scandals in the intense Korean culture. Americans do not understand. I think we need to actually make it clear that we do not understand how intense netizen culture, internet culture in South Korea is compared to, or just actually mainstream celebrity culture in South Korea is ridiculously intense. I I was watching one of um their talk shows, and one of the biggest, the hugest group, big, just ridiculously big. Super Junior. One of their members is like a very funny guy. His name is Hicho, and let me pull him up. Hicho, this dude, he was he was talking about how intense his fans were, their friends were. He was in a big group called Super Junior. It's like 12 guys, and how these fans would try to sneak into their dorm because the group members, they would sleep in a dorm. They don't have their individual houses. They have a dorm, and so fans would sneak in and do like wild, crazy things. And it seems that one day, one fan got in, snuck in, somehow figured out how to like hack the key code, card key code. They got in, then they put fecal matter somewhere. They put fecal matter somewhere in some other substance, some other red substance in fecal matter. He was explaining that, and it's like intense, and it's like it's 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 vicious sometimes, because people would even attack others over just somebody else being a normal musical competitor for the charts. It's crazy. It's craziness. And so, and there's no the suicide rate and in South Korea is way more intense than it is in America. We don't even have that type of we don't have that type of thing happening over here. We don't have these type of statistics for our country in the West. We do have, certain numbers that skew in a certain direction to men are in the lead here, but in general, over in the Asian countries, it seems to be a normative uh, decision for a lot of people to end their lives. And I just really hope that more people realize that there's other options than just ending their lives to the problems that they face. No matter how intense it is, there's always some other way. There is always some other way. And it seems that that's not really um, a normative uh, thing. I don't know. Hey man, what's up, Cliff? What's up? This is like this is so sad, man. No, yeah, in Asia is huge, man. In Asia in general, Asia in general have a very very high rate for that type of statistic, and this is like really shock. I'll never live. I'll never. It's like this is the second time. This is the second time this is really stricken me. Like not even the second time. It's not even. This is not the second time. This is not the second time. Chester, Prince, Michael, Jung Yun. In the recent time, Jung Yun was that was like ridiculous. But this is the second one that was with inside the SM Entertainment label, and they have to start. I think you know SM Entertainment as a company has to start checking up on their folks. They have to get people together. The best way to aid something like this is to round up the people who are constantly choosing to be alone and get them with other people. You know, we're supposed to be as we are creatures, we are better together, and obviously we are happier together. If you feel isolated, then you should find someone else to talk to at least, and then find you two together, find someone else to talk to, and then have a group eventually. But it's just not. How should they check on their folks? Well, I think they can actually contact them easily and call in for a meeting, and then not even just a meeting, just like have people actually, spend time together more. I think a lot of things about this business is numbers, and they're pushing their their musicians, their performers to get perfect choreography, pushing them to to wait, even the way they look, their weight is start like a lot of Asian celebrities start to become very skinny because their label pushes them to actually get to that point because they feel that that's what's marketable. I don't think that's true, but that's what they think is going to get them more money, more clicks, more views, more listens, more viral. It's like, what are we doing to each other? Even as a company, like the company is just filled with people. It's not like some type of robot organ. They're people running businesses, and if that has a part of this, she became an actress recently. So, but I think the scandal was what eventually came on her, and it's just like, I don't know, man. I'm not talking about just I'm not really talking about the record executive calling and I said, no, actually I think that would have actually, yeah, I think that if the record executive show actually was a little bit more you know empathetic to their performers, then I think that would actually help. I think that would help. And I'm not talking about just executives. I'm talking about in in SM Entertainment. There's a bunch of performers. That's what you need to understand. In SM Entertainment, it's not just the executives, but they have a lot of groups together that all know each other. But um, as they end their run as a group or as an individual, it does seem that they go out and venture on their own, and there's a lot of isolation, obviously, and as they do come from the same place, it would be much better if everybody who is on the same level could come together and then spend time with each other and actually get to know each other and come together instead of leaving themselves isolated. It's shocking. This one is shocking. I don't know. It's a side to Hollywood that I don't under, I okay. I don't know. That's what I wanted to say. I wanted to talk about this. The weight of the world is heavier than a record executive's opinion. It was not about an opinion. It's about actually connecting to somebody. It's not. We're not talking about just opinions. We're really talking about just like sitting someone down and connecting, having a deep understanding about somebody. It's Yeah, and it goes beyond famous people. Exactly. That's what I was trying to get to. Like, that's what I was talking about. I don't know. It's like this is not just happening with celebrities. This is just happening with everyone. Everyone who becomes isolated and gets to this point just decides that this is the way. And I do believe that we are becoming isolated as human beings in general. I don't think it's I don't know any of my neighbors. Like when I came here into this apartment complex, I didn't get a lot of smiles. I got a lot of frowns. I got a lot of frowns. It's not a warm place to be anymore. You know, like out in the world, it's not a warm place. No one would come and like want to meet you as you are their neighbor. It's not like that. We don't build communities. We let people become isolated. Um, Even in friendships, there's a lot of friendships that people say that are healthy, but are not in reality. Because if I know that I only really have one person that I've really been completely honest with, like completely. There's one person. He's back in Virginia. I call him from time to time. He's like one of my closest friends, and I divulge very personal information to him. But I don't really have anyone else, really. Not even in California. I wouldn't actually divulge a lot. Actually, maybe one person, but I don't know where his head's at. So like it's being able to actually give your all to someone in that way, in that personal way, is very important to me. You know, I think that's very, I think that's very important. Well, I'm sorry, Ron back. I'm sorry, I didn't see your your. I was actually interacting with a few other people. I apologize, man. People are generally not friendly, but you did put off a creepy. What? How's that even? I think this is a really poor grouping of people to be talking about this too, because some of you guys don't really have a lot of empathy at all. Because I think you did say that before. Also, I think you did say that. So thanks for that, dude. It's part of it's part of the reason why people decide to become isolated. This doesn't really make me feel open to talk to anyone that you say that. It's like thanks. That's a good is a good it's a good example of why I don't really stream that much anymore. No, I think you said something before though. I think I maybe it was in Discord because that's not the first time I've seen someone say exactly that. Why do I think they watch streams? Half the people are yeah, well. So like that's pretty that's a pretty unfair assessment. Well, thanks for that, man. Thank you for that. No, don't. I'm not gonna thank you for that. That was really mean, and I'd rather not have you inside this chat, this chat room, dude. If you're gonna say that, I think you can go somewhere else. You just literally just insulted me, and it was just like I'm just being honest. It's like, yeah, well, thanks for that. It's just me having big hair and being happy and bright is just not good enough. So I don't know. That's it's weird stuff, man. I don't know. Wow. This is like the worst. This is the worst people to give this to. This is the worst people to give this type of like conversation to. I see how you perceive me, I guess. I definitely see how you perceive me. That's certainly a perception. Because I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea what you're talking about. And this is a part of the reason why I'm talking about this, because it's like a certain type of negativity that you're kind of shelling out right now is completely off base and has no substantial evidence whatsoever. It's just kind of like a ridiculous conclusion, actually. So it's like it's amazing that you would actually say that and then just kind of say like honestly that's what how it is. And it's it's not. No, I'm believing that's I'm believing that you're actually because I can actually see how many messages you sent. I know you came in. I know that it's probably the same person, honestly. And that's also one thing that I'm understanding. You're saying that I got super mad, but I didn't really get that mad. I wasn't even that mad. Well, that concludes that guy. But that was during the stream, though. Yeah, you can find it. It's on Paul's channel. You can watch it yourself. Because this is what I actually understand about how people perceive me, and it's definitely very racial, especially inside of a community of people who are built off of very racist jokes. They look at me and they literally want me to be the angry person, the angry person that they I guess make fun of, right? So they look at EBZ, they see how he explodes on camera, they see how he explodes on live streams, right? And they see another person with brown skin, and then any type of frustration is just ramped up times 1,000. And this is also part of the reason why I like I'm talking about like this whole it's like people who watch other people on screen have a certain type of elitism with their opinions on them, and then any type of dissent against that is automatically some type of like I don't know, some type of like just I don't know. It's like it's ridiculous. It's almost like you can't. The person who receives can't ever respond, and can't ever have an opinion saying no. That's not how it is. And this is the type of thing that anybody inside the entertainment spectrum feels. This is it feels like you start getting pushed inside a bubble, and you get pushed inside your own box, and you want to stay away from people. And probably what has happened is that she got pushed some direction by someone, some people, a large amount of people, and she felt alone, isolated, and she felt this was the way that she needed to conclude her life. So I think that's I think that's really sad. I think that's really sad. Well, I can't assume that. It's not the. It's obviously. I don't know what's happened, but all we have with situations like this are assumptions. Really, it is. All we have are assumptions, and that's all we can go off of. And my assumption is that she got pushed in some type of direction. That's what I believe. When someone takes their own life, I believe that something's happening inside their brain where they feel like they need to exit, and I don't think that's a good idea for someone to exit. Honestly, there's always some other way, but when somebody becomes so overcome with emotion, then it does get to the point where it something irrational does become rational, and then they go ahead and enact what they feel is part of what is um it's a part of, like, people who self harm. They feel self destructive because they can't release their emotions out in the way they want to, so they decide to self destruct. And I my ex, she was dealing with that type of she was dealing with that. It was really hard. It was really hard to deal with that. I mean, like, it was like she used a nail filer, and she would what would she do? She would like clip her nails in a certain way, and it was she would spend so long in the bathroom, and it was very scary. I don't know, man. Look, I can bring that guy back. I can unban that guy. If that's how it is with that guy, that I can unban him. But honestly, I do believe, like, I do believe it's not a good community to have people actually, people who would say really, really, like, derogatory things to you. Why would I let this person stay inside the chat when I'm talking about something serious like this? I don't think it's a good idea, especially when I'm talking about something something as serious as this. Yeah, you're right. He's not mature enough. Well, if I let a person, why would I let a person stay inside the chat and then just insult me? Give me the reasoning of why that would be a good idea. you know, that would not be a good idea, because I'm sure that's part of the reason. I mean, literally, they said um, she faced a huge amount of abuse on social media. This is a part of the reason why a lot of people, when you get like a scandal or something, a lot of people like delete their social media, because imagine opening up your phone and then looking at a huge, like, thousands of insults all at you, just reserved just for you. Would you really want to even go outside? Because Oh my god! Because like, think about it. Like it's like these are from real people, and that's part of the reason why. I'll tell you what happened when I stayed away. I wanted to stay away from Kiara Kitty in general. Um, when she was around here, I didn't want to show up on stream. I did not want to show up on stream. I did not. Um, I just kind of wanted to like meet her, take a picture, and then leave. Because when I went over there, right, it was like normal conversations even before she reached out and then conversated to me. She said a few things on Discord, short things here and there, very friendly. And it was just like it was fine, you know. Then when I saw her and Mexican Andy was there, all of a sudden, is like, he started saying the N word, and then he started like talking about homeless people, and it was like, I get, oh, okay, I get it. Immediately you would get that. I get it, and it's like it's no fun to be around a bunch of people who, and I heard a bunch of people say like, oh yeah, Bell is no content, right there in front of me, right there in front of me, right there. I heard another dude like who was around there. She invited a lot of people there. Some random person was there also, just like, no, this is person not a streamer, but it's just, I guess he's just a viewer of hers. He was there, he said that, and it was just like right in my ear. And as you realize that there's a direct connection to people in the chat and then people in general, then you realize that any type of comment that you see on social media, any type of comment that you see inside the chat, literally comes from a person and is directed at you. And if you think about if you would want to see this person in public, you would totally not. You would totally not want to do that. Why would you want to actually see the person and meet the person and just be friends with the person who's just insulted you viciously? I don't think that's a good idea. It's just not. It really isn't. So that has to be a part of what is inside of this, because this is blowing me away here. I cannot. It's like one of my favorite groups of all time. A bunch of talented ladies, literally same age as me, same age. She has millions of subscribers, followers. Million. It's just like, that doesn't really mean anything though. Obviously, that never means anything. Never. It doesn't matter how famous you are. It's about what is happening inside your head, what is happening inside your life actually. And I think that's what it all comes down to, really. This is so sad. That's really it. That's really all that's really all I wanted to say. Just like all these connections with intense fans, becoming isolated, South Korea's culture in general. The statistics are very, very, they're living up to their potential, unfortunately. And I really believe that we have to be able to do something to prevent something like this from happening for everybody. And if it's as simple as being able to get inside of a deep conversation with somebody that you don't even know, or even especially someone you do know, especially someone that's close to you, that you feel like is close to you, but you might not know what's happening inside their life, but it's their actual life. And I believe that it's very important to actually get to know one another on a very deep level. And I think we need to take the plunge on each other, and stop being afraid to really, you know, understand someone deeply, and not actually, hiding away from what they might actually be feeling, their dark feelings, because that is literally what would actually um, bring someone out of very, very self-destructive thoughts, you know. So, and if you're coming in, you don't know, uh, really, really, this is like close to heart for me. One of my favorite musicians, singers, Sully. She's gone, 25, and it's believed that she's taken her life. So it's very sad, very sad. So, um, I don't know. I don't know really what else to say. There's nothing else to say. It's very sad. Um, so I hope that this this would actually, uh, speaking positively here, like, I hope this would actually, awaken a lot of people. Like, not a lot of people are paying attention for some reason, but like, to actually start connecting to each other and saying, hey, what's up, man? What's going down? What is, if you're seeing someone who is clearly showing signs that they don't feel good, because a lot of human beings are very obvious about what they're feeling, and they'll post something ridiculous on social media. I think it's very important to actually talk to them, and try to connect and see what they're feeling, and try to at least bring them out of it. And I hate how a lot of people I hate how a lot of people uh, go strictly towards go to professional help, because I don't believe that it is only professionals like psychiatrists that would bring someone out of this type of, mind state. I believe it's a group of people that they can be close to, that they can actually divulge whatever is happening inside their head, honestly and deeply, like strictly honestly. Like, how many of you guys know, how do you guys know, like, really, how many of you guys actually know two people that you can be very honest to? Because I can't even be that honest to my parents about everything that's happened in my life. No, I'm not honest about. I can't even be honest to my brother. I really do have one person, and it's not even my own family, and that's not good at all. I don't know what I can do, but I can at least try to, like, meet somebody that I can be that be that way with. I don't know, man. We're vets, police vets, anyone with mental health. Yeah. So I think that's enough, honestly. Literally an hour ago. make sure you guys, go ahead and send some positive people, sense of positive things to the people just or try to you know get to know the people around you that you know might actually be feeling this way. You might be able to save them from whatever they're going through. It's easier to hate than support somebody. It's very, yeah, it's true. It's an epidemic. Yeah. Yeah. Jeez. Okay. That's all. Um. Yeah. I don't know, man. This is this is really sad. No problem, man. No problem. I will talk about things. You know. I was thinking about if I should talk about this, and it doesn't really seem like the Korean streamers even know about it yet because the story just broke. So you might see some of these Korean streamers stop streaming if they care. I don't know. You never know. You never know you know, who this might affect or not. You might see some American streamers be very affected by this, like I was. I was very close, not personally, but they were very close to me. She, as a performer, very close to me, as I watched and listened to everything she did. So it's like, it's like, it's I don't know. This has really floored me. I did not. You never want something like this to happen, man. You never even fathom it. Like, as you go your day to day life, really, you're just always just kind of just like, just living your life. You're not even paying attention to something like this. And this is why I say, even if, just, I would say, if you're just kind of like living your life in a cycle, like we all live our life, we go to work, and then we come home, watch something on TV, and then we're just kind of like going through our cycle, and then something like this happens, and then we're surprised, and it's like, well, maybe we should be incorporating something else inside of that routine, that that connection, the humanity. I think humanity. I think that's what this is. That's what this is. I think humanity is starting to become lost more and more. Like the ability to connect to another human being literally is becoming just forgotten, and individualism, as good as it is. Um, I'm not talking about individualistic liberty. What I'm talking about, or maybe it's not even individualism. I believe that humans are becoming more self-centered, and people are starting to just care about themselves, like only themselves. And when they might act, well, not even might, when they have the capacity to even care about millions of other people, they are deciding to care about only themselves. And in that, you get a lot of nasty behavior, and it's affecting each. We're being affected by it, and people are deciding that this world is not very worth it to live in at all. It's like, why should I be here? you know, if this is what my life is. And I think that's what's pushing people over. And I just wish that we can regain a bunch of our humanity. Take that for whatever it is, like really, like you can try to preach positivity all day, and depending on who you're talking to, they might just like literally spit in your face, and then that's what you will get. So I hope that you guys who are watching the stream, and then you guys who are watching the YouTube video, would like try to practice more humility, more humanity in your lives. Try to bring others into humanity and humility and empathy, to connect to each other. If you're mad at your mother, like I am, like all the time, because she abused me when I was younger, forgive her. Try it. I've gone through phases of forgiving my mother over and over again. She does something messed up, and now I had to, like, now I get in this, but I had to forgive her regardless. I had to practice humility and forgiveness. I have to do it. Don't let yourself be taken advantage of. But that's why forgiveness is probably one of the strongest things you can do. Because if somebody can try to do something to you and you still can forgive them, then you're actually stronger for it. And that's what I learned. So, jeez, man. I gotta dig it. Okay, cool. Okay. All right. Let's try. I don't know. Let's try to be more positive today. If you take anything from this stream today, be snap, Rusher, I'm Job. Thank you for the follow. Today, try as hard as you can. Oh, Candace, thank you for the follow. Today, try as hard as you can to be as humane as possible. Like, there's a lot of moments, and like the second you wake up and go outside the door, there's a lot of ways to just be, just small things like holding the door out for somebody literally can change someone's life. Like, I did that for some dude. I remember doing that to like a Hispanic guy who looked like he was like a vato, one of those dudes. And he turned and looked at me like he was like, really? Wow. And he was like surprised. Like, you could really make an effect on somebody by just doing something small, like very small. So I think it all comes through in practice, and the more we try to do something, I think we can prevent more of these things from happening. And then that's the least that we can do. That's it. All right. So I will see you guys in the next stream, whatever I stream. All right.